dies. He dies.
In 1991, Tommy Morrison was the most feared knockout artist in the heavyweight division. A devastating 27-0 record with 23 knockouts to his name.
Still trying to get himself back into a good left hand. Down goes Tillis.
But next in line was something no knockout record could prepare him for. A real-life Ivan Drago.
Showdown with Yuri Vaulin, Great Red Hulk, who leads an invasion of newly turned pro Soviet boxers.
Standing 6'4" with ice-cold precision, Yuri the Mauler Vaulin was no cartoon villain. He was a Soviet-built fighting machine with a cold stare, brutal technique, and no unnecessary emotions.
He's through. Right now he's having that Yuri feeling.
Join us as we step into the ring in Atlantic City to find out what this Soviet machine was really made of. This is the Boxing Lab. Let's go. The Duke had already played Tommy Gunn alongside Stallone, but this was no movie set. This was the undercard of Holyfield versus Foreman, the biggest stage in boxing. But standing across the ring was a man who didn't care about Hollywood fame. Yuri the Mauler Vaulin had been one of the first Soviet boxers to turn professional in America, bringing with him elite amateur credentials and the legendary Eastern Bloc training methods. As far as he was concerned, the Duke was just another pretty boy waiting to be destroyed. There was only one way to settle it.
He's one of the few of the Soviet fighters that are still around. They sent a couple of them back. I think it's a lot harder than Vaulin.
And Vaulin bounced right into the ring. This has been set up as one of those Rocky IV.
From the opening bell, the Russian giant used his polished technique and size advantage to give Morrison serious problems.
Morrison just trying to check him out and see what he could do.
Well, Vaulin's moving the way that Tommy Gallagher didn't want him to move, and that's to his right. He won a big left hook of Morrison's.
And Morrison slipped down. Opening round is scheduled for 10. The crowd reacts to Morrison's aggressive release. Morrison had told us, you see him dipping down, he wants to. And Morrison doing some damage with both hands. Roundhouse.
Tommy Gallagher, Vaulin's trainer, told me he wants him nowhere near those ropes. He's got to stay in the center of that ring. But he hasn't done much other than throw that jab.
That's the punch again!
Screaming for him to throw that left hand. He thinks that Morrison's open for it, and Vaulin isn't responding.
And the final seconds of this first round of the heavyweight fight, Yuri Vaulin from Latvia. Round two.
Well, the CompuBox stat on the 33% landed by Vaulin and 17% landed by Morrison. Of course, he only threw 12 jabs. There goes that left hand that they were asking for, and he's landing it. As Morrison headhunting again, he should be hitting that body at every opportunity.
Morrison swinging and hitting air.
Target, this Vaulin, and his head, he leans back, he's tall, he should be hitting that body. It's the closest thing to him.
Morrison landing a right moments ago with the arrival of Muhammad Ali at ringside.
Another Vaulin. Morrison's starting to look puffy already, and it's only been a round and a half.
Said they expected the fight to be difficult, that Vaulin was awkward. They wanted to get Morrison some rounds. But they had already looked ahead and tried to book.
They might have been putting the
left from Morrison.
Putting the cart ahead of the horse thrown right now. A lot of people thought this fight was going to end real early.
little blood around the mouth of Morrison.
Gets several jabs right off the chin, and that opened him up rather early.
Against the Russian fighter.
I'm here.
Vaulin's killer instincts here. Tommy Gallagher said he had a hard time getting him to really open up on his damage tonight. Look at that, putting a three-punch combination and getting out. This is what he got to do all night to win the fight.
Okay. We wind down towards the end of the second round. Right hand from Morrison.
And, Tommy Morrison's manager told me they might have made a mistake taking this fight.
And Yuri Vaulin. Round 3, it's scheduled for 10.
Well, the jab seems to be the Vaulin landing 32% to Morrison's 9%. He's only thrown 22.
Vaulin's slick movement and technical boxing made Morrison work harder than expected.
What has he had? About 20 knockouts in his last 22 fights, I believe.
And all early. All in the first couple of rounds.
Well, Tommy Gallagher telling that's what he's got to do. Use that mobility and get out of the way of these big bombs.
Morrison has an injured right hand. Do you think that's telling a tale?
Well, you know, you guys with that right hand, but right now he's limited. He hasn't been throwing very much at all. It may be bothering him. You see, he didn't follow up after that. In fact, he doubled over in pain and fell to the canvas when he hit his sparring partner, Jerry Jones. Oh!
And Vaulin landing. He staggered Morrison.
Well, he's got to stick to his game plan here, Vaulin. He shouldn't get overly confident because...
Point where Tommy Gallagher said Vaulin needed to go after him now. Don't let him off the...
Dig to the outside. He's landing from the outside. Why quit there?
He lands again with a left. Vaulin putting on a show in the third round.
Putting on a show and catapulting himself to the Morrison. He's rated in the top 10 in all 3 categories here.
They're paying the price.
Morrison cannot just be content to throw those punches and stop. He's got to throw those punches.
Yuri Vaulin, who's taken over control of this fight through 3.
Here on the replay, you see Vaulin landing that jab. Bingo! Right on the button with that left hand, and then followed up with that right hook to the temple. And that'll do a lot of damage in itself. Here again, another angle of that. And left hook right on the chin, followed by a left and another left. A beautiful 3-punch combination. More of those combinations. If he doesn't do something to turn this tide in this fight.
Bonds here in the 4th. Lunged with a right.
Well, he came right back with his own 2 punches, but it looked like it... Vaulin told us yesterday that he depends on this right jab. That really is his bread and butter punch.
A left caught Vaulin going backwards.
When Vaulin does get on the inside, he's allowing, when Morrison gets on the inside, he's allowing Vaulin to tie him up on the inside. Should take advantage of it on the inside. Another 1-2, Lent.
Referee Steve Smoger telling Tommy Morrison to punch his way out of there. Morrison had said something to Smoger.
I'll let you work out of it. Go ahead.
And a left hand from Vaulin.
Your hands are loose. That's it.
Taking the legs away from Vaulin.
That had been the game plan. They wanted Morrison to come in low to be... Vaulin's corner.
They certainly expended a lot of energy in these first 4 rounds. Oh, dynamite.
Vaulin with another fine combination.
Morrison is really unsteady on his feet. His ankles are turning.
Being very tactical tonight.
He certainly is. Tommy Gallagher.
And now Morrison on the attack. Morrison missing wildly on that one, but for the first time, he stunned Vaulin.
Well, just like I said, he was still dangerous, and he's got him. McGill was worried about that. Dynamite uppercut.
And the crowd clearly on Morrison.
And that's slugging it out with a guy like Tommy Morrison. We haven't seen this in his previous fights.
But in the 5th round, Morrison found the opening he'd been hunting for.
Through the first 4, and Morrison still tied with a big left hand. And Vaulin's hurt.
Body shot. That's it. They may stop the fight here.
The Soviet giant hit the canvas, but Morrison wasn't finished teaching this lesson.
Sir looked on the verge of it. Oh,
And Vaulin hurt again.
Turned his back. That's got to be it. A fighter turns his back. I can't believe that Smoger. That's it.
That's it.
City, Tommy, the Duke Morrison.
Morrison claimed victory via 5th round TKO, dropping the Soviet warrior twice and forcing the referee to wave it off, keeping his undefeated record intact and his title shot dreams alive. And that night in Atlantic City, the Duke proved his knockout power was no Hollywood act, and Vaulin learned the hard way that even a real-life Ivan Drago can be stopped. Drop a like and show the Duke some love in the comments. Thanks for watching.